It's time for another episode of the Daily Blogcast for Internet Marketing, where every day we find all the best industry blog posts and turn them into something you can listen to, because reading is hard. Now, here are your hosts, Mark and Bryan.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily Blogcast for Internet Marketing. What episode is this?
66.
66! Kapow! That's way up there. I think I say that every time. That's way up there.
It seems to me like we're not going, like we're slowing down somehow.
I know. What's going on? I don't know.
Nothing. Today's Monday, though.
Yep. Thank God. Thank God it's Monday. Is there TGIM?
No.
Oh.
So this is non-internet marketing related.
Okay.
But the Olympics are big news everywhere.
Yeah.
And so as I comb Twitter for all the interesting things to talk about on this show, I came across one thing that got retweeted a bunch of times, and it was pretty funny. It's from Sebastien Toutant. Did you see this tweet? So I guess this guy's I'm not a snowboarder guy, but he's a professional snowboarder.
Yeah.
Canadian snowboarder. And he tweeted a picture from the bathroom signs from Sochi. And it's like really funny. So I have to describe this to you because this is a radio show.
Okay.
But there's 6 tiles, and I'll show it to you. There's 6 tiles here.
Okay.
And you can see of all the things you're only supposed to do one thing on the toilet. And there's a picture of a stick figure of a guy sitting on a toilet, like a stick frame. And then there's all this other stuff you're not supposed to do. So one thing you're not supposed to do is pee standing up. That there's a big X
Men
over that.
have to sit down?
I guess so.
Wow.
Then there's one where there's a guy leaned over, like praying to the porcelain god, like he's throwing up.
Really?
There's a red X through that. And then there's a red X through one where someone's sitting on top of the toilet on their, like they're squatting over the toilet.
That's
with
what
their feet.
Do. They like hover.
No, this is like...
I mean, that's not even hover. That's like standing on the toilet seat.
Yeah, their feet are on top of the rim of the toilet seat, and then they're squatted.
Yeah.
And then there's one, I have no idea what's going on, but my favorite is the no fishing one.
No fishing?
Look at this. It's a picture of a guy standing over the toilet with a fishing pole.
What the hell? Really? That's funny.
So this got retweeted a bunch of times, and it was like, toilet fishing is not allowed at the Sochi Olympic bathrooms.
Yuck.
Who would be fishing in the toilet?
That one must just been thrown in as a joke.
I don't know, man. You heard all that stuff, right? How there's like a bunch of stuff not finished, like hotel rooms that don't have shower curtains.
Yeah.
They're missing like faucets and stuff. And have you seen the other stuff where like the reporters are sending back tweets of like what the running water looks like? It's like black.
Oh. No, I haven't really followed anything.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Ugh.
So I guess they're not ready. And then they also said that this was the most expensive Olympics ever. I guess it's more expensive than all the other ones combined. It's like over $50 billion.
Holy cow. Because China didn't pay like any of those hundreds of thousands of people that like did those weird, held up those signs and act like robots.
But they're saying that it's all the corruption.
Oh.
Whereas like all of, what's his name? What's that guy's name again?
I don't know. It's not Vladimir Putin.
Yeah,
or
it's Putin, right?
Oh, it is?
Very good. Good for you.
All right.
That's it. You've used up your brilliant comment for the whole week now. But anyway, yeah, so Putin, I guess he's all mobbed up. And a lot of these contracts went to his buddies.
Yeah.
So they're getting like super rich.
Oh,
50 billion, man. That's insane.
That's crazy. Wow.
So look, so we're going to put this as our picture, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
We're going to put this as our picture for episode 66. So go to our blog and check it out, dailyblogcast.net, and you will see the no toilet fishing sign.
I was going to say, I'm not even going to say it. Better just keep it in my own head.
What were you going to say?
Well, all the anti-gay stuff that they have going on there. I thought they'd have like a no glory hole type thing.
Yep, you should have kept that to yourself.
If you need to know what a glory hole is, you're going to have to look it up yourself.
I watch Gold Rush. I know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right. So this is from Search Engine Roundtable, our good buddy, Barry Schwartz over there. And Barry, send me an email. Let's chat. I don't know if he's replied to any of my emails.
What are you doing?
I don't think he's replied to any of the comments. And it's like, I'm probably like spamming him to death by this point. Because I mentioned him like sometimes twice an episode.
I know.
So I spam him twice a day almost. So, but I'm sure he's a good sport. And I've determined he must be the owner, author, everything over at Search Engine Roundtable.
Yeah.
Must be. because I mean, I haven't seen too many guest posts there unless I just like his titles more. So I just check out his stuff all the time.
I see.
But anyhow, I'll research that and figure that out later.
Get right on that.
So this one is Google boots large German agency and client for link schemes. So just like he said, they're breaking their will, sending them messages, little tweets saying, we're going to be going after Germany next. So they took out another link network agency and the clients that use them. And Matt Kutz's tweet said, this week we took action on German agencies, link network / clients, more to come in Germany. So breaking wills.
Breaking wills.
Is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Breaking spirits.
Yeah, breaking spirits. Yeah, that's what it was.
So I have one from Mashable, and this is entitled "The Top 8 Reasons Why Men and Women Use Facebook."
All right, I had something like that yesterday.
Really?
A little bit.
Well, I have this today.
Yours is probably better anyhow. 'Cause you're better at everything.
Facebook. Here's your $5.
Okay.
Facebook turned 10 with 1.2 billion monthly active users, 37 offices worldwide, and more than 6,000 employees. But how are Facebook users actually using the social network after a decade? According to a recent survey conducted by Pew, 54% of female responders say they use Facebook to view photos and videos, while 42% of male responders say they use it to share with a wide audience. Is this the stuff that you read yesterday?
Vaguely.
Is it?
The first one was exactly what I
So
covered.
did you talk about the infographic too?
No, I didn't have an infographic.
I have an infographic.
So someone took my data and made an infographic.
I don't think so. So this shows like how the top 8 ways. So the first one, well, among the first is sharing with many people at once.
Yeah, that was for women.
Yes.
They did it more.
Seen photos and videos.
For women. Next one's funny. They like funny videos and clips.
Yes.
Something? Okay.
So we should just cut this whole thing out then.
No. It's an infographic. It's got to be more data in there.
So seen entertaining and funny posts, keeping up with news and current events. That's even 31%.
Yeah.
And learning about ways to help others. Women are at 35%. Men are at 25%.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. I don't care. Receiving support for people in your network. Who wants more support, women or men?
Women.
Yep. You don't support me.
Yeah.
Your wife says that
You
probably
don't
every
love
day.
me.
You don't support me. So only 16% of men look for support and 29% of women do. And then getting feedback on content you have, it's about even 16 and 17%.
Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah. So that was it.
Cool. All right.
But the good thing is if I covered this today and you already did it yesterday,
Yeah.
I have it on good authority that a lot of people just mute when you're talking.
Yeah.
And then they like turn the volume back up when I'm talking.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
they probably didn't even hear half the stuff anyway.
And I don't even know if I said it like so people could understand it because that was like I had a lot of sake that day, so I was like,
And the other thing I found out is that a lot of people are playing the Daily Blogcast drinking game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Every time you mention Barry Schwartz, Pat Flynn,
yeah.
or John Dumas, people are taking a shot.
There must be a lot of drunk
There
listeners
are a
out
lot
there.
of people with alcohol poisoning.
Well, at least 12.
Yeah. There are a lot of people with alcohol poisoning. Barry Schwartz.
My buddies.
Shot.
Shot
Wow. You know, we tried to do that one time with Walking Dead.
for every time they killed a zombie. Take a drink?
No. It was every time someone said Rick, and we like quit 15 minutes through
Oh,
because
really?
people kept going, Rick, where's Rick? What's wrong, Rick? Where you at, Rick? Rick, what happened?
Would have been smashed.
What were we going to do, Rick? Yeah, it's like, we're like, I quit.
Yep. Well, I want to do a drinking game where you just do like shots of beer.
Yeah, well, that's what we ended up switching to.
Yeah.
Because you can't do like, I mean, how many shots can you take for real if
Yeah.
you're doing real liquor? So yeah,
you'd
it ended up being
barfing.
like, yeah, you take a sip or something. But even then it was ridiculous. Rick,
Yeah.
Rick,
And you
Rick,
could get,
Rick.
if you're doing it a lot, you could get totally smashed off of doing shots of beer too. It's crazy.
No, you can't.
It's nuts. All right. So this one's from Search Engine Journal. And this is,
That's another one.
yeah, another one. Shot. By Hin Lei, and said, what I learned from beating Google's first update of 2014. And I didn't notice this, but it got me really scared. And I can't
Marketing news got you really scared?
Yeah, that put me in a bad mood.
Oh, no.
I haven't decided to check my stats yet on any of mine or my client sites because I've been advocating something that's been punished recently, but I think they might be going after it more. But so he said, for those of us who track our own websites, you may have noticed a Google update rollout on January 8th that is causing large fluctuations in the search engine results page. And he said one side of his was set back nearly 130 spots. It dropped from rank 5 to rank 131. And over the course of 3 weeks, he continually tested it to better understand what the update had done. And after some minor changes, he was able to get his site all the way back up to number 5. And so he said on January 9th, the site was hit and it dropped from 5 to 124. January 19th, investigations led to having a pro exact match anchor text link removed. January 26th, he monitored the results and actually saw a further drop after he removed that link. The site fell to rank 131 at that point. January 28th, he decided to change the URL to avoid using my exact keyword. 301 redirected the old URL to the new one so the existing link juice would flow through. And a 301 redirect, you could do that now from like your WordPress site if you're using WordPress, but you could also, just put that in. What do you put that into, like a htaccess file or
that
something like that? Yeah. Yep. So if you know about that, you could pass link juice.
If you don't, you learn nothing.
Yeah. If you don't, just type in how to do a 301 redirect.
htaccess.
Very simple. And January 30th, huge jump back to page number 1. Woohoo! And then February 1st, site climbs to rank 6. And then February 4th, site climbs further up to rank 5. And he goes on to say...
So wait a second, before you continue. So what exactly was the problem?
It looks like a couple things. He had a exact match anchor link. The anchor text on a link from a website that probably had high page rank and stuff. Oh no, I said a pro. It was a PR0 exact
Oh, no
match.
wonder. I'm like, what? I heard you say pro link, and I'm like, I'm going to wait till you finish this to ask you questions.
No, so he had a PR0 exact match anchor text link. So he had a link pointing to his website from a page with a PR0.
Okay.
And that possibly resulted in a penalty of some sort.
Aha.
But then the second thing,
So it's like the bad neighborhood thing, right? Like it's a link.
Yeah, it's a pointless link.
Yeah.
But it had exact anchor text. So if he's going after like cat hoodies or something, the anchor text on that link was cat hoodies.
I see.
So that wasn't
How
good.
do you know if it's exact anchor text? Like, wouldn't you have like a bunch of different anchor text?
Yeah, well, a lot of people back in the day, you would use the same anchor text
just to
all
like
of
game it.
Yeah,
like
totally
big time.
game it.
I gotcha.
And it still works a little bit. I mean, I think that's how that one, what was that? Was it a music company? Yeah, that music website got busted.
Oh, Rap Genius.
Yeah, Rap Genius, because they're using exact link text too for most of their stuff.
Yeah.
So anyhow, and then the second thing was his exact keyword for the domain name or in the domain name.
I see.
So I think that was it. And that's what I'm really worried about because I probably have hundreds of websites that are optimized for a specific keyword and the keyword is in the domain name.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be a big deal. I mean, that's ridiculous. If you're, I mean, I don't want to out any of your websites. So let's just say if you're San Diego Lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you pick that as a domain name if it was available? Why would they penalize that?
Well, before it used to give you weight and then they totally took that out of the algorithm.
Understand them backing it off. But penalizing you for it? That's ridiculous.
I know. It's crazy. But I think one of those like Penguin or what was the other one?
I don't know.
Penguin or Panda? I think
it was
some
Hamster.
of them,
wasn't it Hamster?
Yeah, Hamster. Hummingbird. Yeah, all those.
The gerbil update.
Could have been Hummingbird. I don't know.
I want gerbil to be the next update. I really do.
Yeah, they'll probably do it.
Ever since gerbil.
Okay, so it goes on and says, content isn't king. Too often people assume that if they have great content, they'll automatically rank for terms and never get hit by a penalty whatsoever. Wrong. I had a quality page filled out with beautiful crafted text and Shutterstock-worthy images that he took himself, and he still got hit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it could
because
still
now
happen.
they're so focused on beating people they think are gaming the system. The legitimate people are getting screwed.
Yeah, with that,
So
just the
whole-
algorithm updates.
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
whole
bam.
content is king things out the window
Yeah,
because everybody's moaning about these big brands and these big authority sites gaming the system.
yeah.
So
I'm just surprised that it was like 2 little things that he found.
I
that
think content
totally
matters
messed
the
it
least,
up.
I would say. Even though they tell you that it's the best,
Yeah.
I think the only reason content matters is because if you're not gaming the system, hopefully after 30 years, people will link to your page and you'll get organic stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, your content has to be super valuable now these days.
Well, that's what I mean. But I'm saying like you can still game it with all these link networks and all this other stuff. I mean, they're finding here and there, but how many of them are there? There's probably hundreds.
Yeah.
And all the people that are creating private link networks that aren't advertising.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as you put something in public, how do you know? We talked about this before. How do you know it's not Google or somebody signing up on their behalf,
Yeah,
outing everything?
exactly.
So it's better just to be quiet about it. Loose lips sink ships.
Totally. Got to be quiet if you're going to go black
Yeah,
hat.
exactly.
Okay, then 301 redirects past all link juice, and his site leapfrogged from the 130 to page number 1. And he said there was no way this could have happened without having all that link juice flowing from my newly redirected backlinks. And he said the juice from the redirect must have taken effect almost instantaneously as well. Because people in the past have talked like sometimes it might take a week or might take a couple weeks or something. But he said, no, it must have happened instantly because he noticed the results instantly. And then the update was not Penguin related. And he said he tested this by having all exact match anchor text removed from his site. Luckily, there was only one. And it popped, he said he was looking at the timeline of events, saw 0 improvement, and in the fact it dropped another 60 places a few days later. So he's thinking that one PR0 link didn't really affect it, but who knows? It could have actually affected it and just changed a few days later.
Mm-hmm.
And he says Google is lenient. He was quite surprised at how significant the improvements were after simply changing the page URL. So he was surprised that just popped right back up there. And he said, don't over-optimize your header tags. Only a few months ago, I was seeing great results from having my exact keyword in header tags, like the title, H1, or in the URL. But said if it's over-optimized, he's seeing negative results.
Also stupid.
And then biggest takeaway, keep everything natural. And he said, if there's one thing to learn from this, it's to keep your site looking as natural as possible, almost as if you knew nothing about SEO. He said, here's some additional tips to keep your site looking natural in Google's eyes. Don't link hoard. Link out to others when it makes sense. Have a privacy policy and terms page. Have a thorough About Us page. Have active social media accounts linked to your site. And have a branded domain name. So I guess don't go for the keyword specific domain name. So that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Where was that from?
That was from Search Engine Journal.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So this is from Mashable, and the title of this post is "You Can't Buy Pinterest Fame."
Uh-oh. Can't game Pinterest?
Exactly.
What?
If
No.
you want to build your following on Pinterest, there's no easy shortcut. That's the message Pinterest sent to users after the company updated its acceptable use policy late last week. The subtle changes to the policy now condemn users who pay others to follow them or repin their images. In other words, users can't buy new followers or shares.
I don't believe it.
All I have to say is weak.
Yeah. I checked Fiverr yesterday, and there's plenty of people.
Yeah. It says we recently updated our acceptable use policy to simplify language and clarify our stance on a few things, a Pinterest spokesperson said in a statement given to Mashable. We want Pinterest to be a place where people can be authentic and share the things that interest them most. So we now prohibit paying per pin or follow.
Oh, man. So, like, if you sign up and you click on that box that says, I agree to their terms of service, that means you actually have to do it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what
man.
that means. I agree.
Dang
And
it.
the part that says we can change these at any time, that also sticks. He says those who violate this policy will be approached by Pinterest, which will work with the user to clarify the policy or take down the content.
Oh, they're nice.
I know, so far, right?
Yeah.
Pinterest's decision to crack down on these types of social strategies is different from the approach taken by a number of other social networks. If you want to artificially grow your Twitter following or add Facebook likes to a post, numerous services and companies online that will help you for a fee.
Yeah.
Well, there are numerous companies. Social media service Mammoth Socials advertises that it can boost followings on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. A writer at Social News Daily used the site Fiverr, where people offer their services in a number of different areas for just $5 to gain 600 Twitter followers in just 3 days. Fiverr.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's unclear exactly how prominent the tactic is on Pinterest. A spokesperson declined to comment on details, but Bob Gilbreth, co-founder of Pinterest marketing company Ahology, says that the change shouldn't have a massive impact on the platform. The change does not mean Pinterest users can't make money working with brands. A brand could pay an individual to create a board on its behalf, and then the user could receive a commission from affiliate Pinterest partners if the pins led to sales. The new rule just prohibits them from receiving payment simply for pinning.
I wonder how they're going to combat that. Like, do you think they will combat that at all? Like, maybe create a bunch of fake Fiverr accounts and then ban everyone that uses it?
I don't know. I don't know what you know what I mean? How they're going to police this.
Yeah.
I guess they're going to first look at a normal, influx of repins or pins or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They're going to look at accounts that have like some giant spike that suck, or new accounts that look kind of spammy. I mean, there's probably a lot of ways that
any of the social networks could add some type of algorithm to see what's normal and what's not.
Right.
I guess some just don't bother. They're like, well, it's not worth our time to go out and tell. I mean, these people that
they'd rather have the content being thrown up there constantly.
And at the 100,000 fake Facebook fans or friends, it's never going to do anything for you anyhow.
Right.
So they're like, it's not going to do anything for them. It's not going to do anything for us. So who cares? But Pinterest sounds like nope, we're not going to let it happen.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to do the whole user experience thing. They don't want people questioning, like if this is real or fake or gamed or not.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that it on that one?
They're not going to be able to do it though.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. I have another income report.
Uh-oh.
I know. I should have saved this till like next week. Give a big week of empty income report so it doesn't make us feel bad that we're making $0. Okay, so this is from EntrepreneurOnFire's monthly income report for December 2013. And of course, it's from Entrepreneur on Fire. And it was written by Kate Erickson. Kate's really cool. So let's see. I'm just going to go down the numbers first, and then I'm going to go into more details of the blog post. But the gross income for December, $115,000.
Wow.
I know. That's so insane.
That's a lot.
In a month. And then total expenses for December, $15,000. I'm rounding up. Total net profit for December, $102,000. Totally insane. And I like this figure. Total net profit from September 1st through today, $322,000.
Since September.
Yeah, since September 1st.
Wow.
Dang. That's when they started monetizing. Totally insane.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to see like...
Wait a minute. That's when they started monetizing. What do you mean? I thought didn't they have like sponsors before that or no?
I don't think so. No, I don't think
like September's the first time they just turned it on and said, we're going to sell sponsorship.
Decided to do sponsors.
And they're already up to this much? That's incredible.
That's totally insane.
That's ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, he waited a long time before trying to monetize on it, which I think is a good idea, obviously.
Well, we have no choice, though, so
yeah,
that'll work out for us.
Yeah, that'll work out perfectly.
That'll be just fine.
Okay, so some things they've done differently over the past month is they're having live webinars for Podcasters Paradise. And one of their products is Podcasters Paradise. And it's like a private membership group. It's a forum. And you can get a bunch of information on podcasting, starting a podcast, networking with other podcasters, things like that.
Are you in that one?
Heck yeah. Because I was able to join at a significant discount.
Early adopter.
Yeah. And because I was a member of their Entrepreneur on Fire mastermind too. Fire. I know. I love spending money. So they said, John and I have heard from a lot of others in the industry that live webinars is where it's at in terms of converting sales, but we really hadn't tried selling to our audience on webinars before. And so she gives a little breakdown of the number of attendees and the conversions and things like that. And their numbers, they had like 272 signups on one of their first ones. 33 attended. That is crazy low amount compared to the signups.
Yeah.
9 purchased lifetime memberships. So they converted over 27% of the people. And the numbers keep on getting better and better as days go by. It looks like they're offering them almost every like 5 days or something like that, which is pretty cool.
What, the webinars?
Yeah, the webinars.
For the Paradise one?
Yeah, the Podcasters Paradise.
What do they talk about on these? Have you seen them?
I haven't attended one of the sales webinars.
Oh, this is a sales one to get new members.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
And so what he does is he'll talk a lot about podcasting and information behind it, and he'll give away information that's valuable to the audience, not just a salesy type webinar.
Sure.
And they'll do like the sales plug at the end. And how they got the audience to increase is they've been spending like $100 a day on Facebook advertising, driving a very targeted audience to our webinar sign up page to register for the live webinar.
How much per day?
$100 a day.
Okay.
And then, let's see, while they were doing the webinars, she was getting information from the people that were attending, and some of the feedback, it was like, when do we get to look inside Paradise? How long is this webinar going to last? So John's been spending the last few weeks tweaking the presentation and made it about 30 minutes shorter and bringing information on the Paradise, the actual product, quicker.
Did they say how long it was originally?
I think it was like 90 minutes or something.
Oh, I see.
I'm not really sure. But so they saw increases in growth because of those changes, and they keep on tweaking things as well. Tweaking the Facebook advertisements, tweaking the webinars.
Tweaking or twerking?
Tweaking. Yeah, I don't think either of them twerk. They might. You never know.
Never know.
And so other things that they're doing, they're having live Q&A sessions inside of Podcasters Paradise. They have a Paradise map so you could see other podcasters in your area. Podcasters page, you could create a page, a bunch of stuff in there. It's really cool. I haven't got in there quite as much as I'd like because of this podcast keeps me full-time busy. So might as well do something that's not making me money. And
that's productive.
Yeah. And so in the past, they've been raising the membership price $100 at a time. And because of this, they've increased it from $597 to $997. So now they're charging $997 for a lifetime membership.
Huh.
So expect February's income to jump quite a bit, I'm sure. That's a huge jump.
I wonder if they've seen, like, I'm sure they do, but I'd love to see like the graph that shows like how signups are affected by price.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because ideally you would just raise the price until it sort of started falling off.
Yeah.
And then you kind of level it off there. But why not? I mean, if people are getting value for it.
Yeah.
And you're might as well make the most amount of money. Plus that whole lifetime thing.
Yeah, the lifetime thing is,
whose lifetime is it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is it the Avatar guys?
Is it your lifetime only? It's definitely your lifetime.
It's Jimmy the Avatar's lifetime.
Yeah. Oh, poor Jimmy. Hope he lives a long time.
People are going to be pissed if Jimmy dies from like some horrible accident. Everybody's going to be wondering, is it legit or what?
Well, you know what's a good thing about raising the price, and now they're at $997.
They're going to make more money. That's the good thing.
Well, that's going to be good just by default.
Did I win?
But also, like every week or every couple weeks or every month or something, they'll be able to say, we're offering a discount.
Right.
And even on this post, they said, if until January 5th or whatever, they offered a $300 discount for people to sign up. So it was like a huge, significant discount. So that's just a great marketing idea.
It's like when the local furniture store says everything's half off.
Yeah.
Well, they just doubled the prices before they took the money off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Okay. And so in review, they said, while our Facebook strategy is still very much in progress, John has taken considerable amount of time in December learning all about Facebook ads in the Power Editor. You should hit him up for questions on Facebook. And then this includes exactly how to set up the ads, the amount of money we need to spend for optimal ROI and the best ways to run them, like how to target the right groups of people, how long to run them. We're still deep in the learning process, but we're happy to share our knowledge with you once we're confident that we know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's going to be Facebook advertisers' paradise.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to share it.
Well, I noticed when I was popping around Facebook that his ads were popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think even in, maybe it was just Facebook. I was thinking that maybe I saw other places throughout the internet, like maybe they're doing the retargeting pixels as well on AdWords. And then they said their email newsletter content has improved drastically. And so they've improved their newsletter and they're really focusing on building that email list. It's growing significantly, about 100 people a day. They're at over 8,000 subscribers. So that's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so last month we announced that their guest posting had seriously stepped up in its game. So they've been reaching out to with over 17 full-length posts to some of the top blogs in the industry. So they're doing a lot of marketing. And so the bare bones, this is for the income for December. Fire Nation Elite Mastermind, 13,000. Sponsorship income, 39,000. So that's for their ad spots and stuff on EntrepreneurOnFire. Podcast launch, that's an ebook in Amazon, $614. One-on-one mentoring, 6,000. And then they had some affiliate income as well. So on Bluehost, they had 1,600. Amazon, like $300. Some other smaller ones. NMX, they got a $538 commission. They must have been using their like discount code. Lead Pages, $200. Studio One Design, $400. So the total gross income was $115,663. Man, insane. And I already said the expenses. And a couple other things that they learned in December was that they need help trying to find a VA. We're trying to find a VA in Odesk as well. And Kate's figuring out like the steps. She made a couple mistakes posting her job and didn't really get back a whole lot of good responses. They got some people asking upwards of $45 an hour and stuff. So she's still trying to get a good VA like we are. That's tough. And then they found that live webinars convert. So it's doing good. They're going to keep up the good work over at Entrepreneur on Fire.
That's cool. That's a lot of dough.
Lots of dough. I wish I had a fraction of that.
Okay.
So make it happen.
All right.
All right. So tune in again tomorrow and send us some money.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. You've been listening to the Daily Blogcast for Internet Marketing.
Visit our site, dailyblogcast.net, where you can find show notes and links to all of the blogs mentioned in this episode.
While you're there, make sure to sign up to our free newsletter so you're notified of new episodes and get a bunch of goodies delivered directly to your inbox.
Don't forget, we need your support, so do us a favor and log into iTunes and leave a rating and a review. It only takes a minute and they'll really help us out. See you tomorrow.
See ya!